Hey, ghoul friends, it's me, Adrian, or Aiden. Either way, I am still your host, and you are still listening to Susto, the podcast about paranormal folklore from Latin American cultures. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again, and if this is your first time, welcome to my haunted house. Thank you for being here. Okay. Quick updates about the show before we get into today's episode. Listen, spooky season is in full swing. We are doing the things. We are having fun. Right at the top of the show, I want to give a major thank you to Austin Public Library at the Ruiz branch for having me this last weekend on Friday for the Hallo-Weird event. It was an amazing time. I did a story time and I spoke about this a bit on TikTok. I think it was one of the biggest crowds that I've ever spoken to when I was the only person on the lineup. I don't know. Was I the headliner? Is that it? Was this my ACL, my SCL, Spooky City Susto City Limits? I don't know. Anyway, it was so much fun. Thank you to the crowd. Everyone's conversation and questions were amazing, and the stories were amazing, and we will be hearing those stories in today's episode. But before we do that, if you couldn't make it out to the Hallo-Weird event at the library, that is fine. That's okay. There are a few more events lined up for this fall season. So, of course, we have the Night Owl Spirit Social happening on Halloween night. That's right, October 31st, starting at 5 p.m. You can get your tickets at thenightowlpodcast.com. Again, those are going to go fast, so make sure that you get them now before they sell out. That night, I will have a table, and I will be speaking on the panel When the Veil is Thinnest. I believe that panel is at 8 p.m., so make sure you go out, you catch me at my table or speaking. And if you can, catch any and all of the panels that evening because they're always so fun and so interesting. Last year's event was a hit, and I expect no less from this year. I will also be tabling at Mex Americon again this year on November 1st. This is one of my favorite events to do. It is a free, all ages event for the community, so make your way out. There's a ton of talented, super talented artists and creators out there every year, so make sure to catch me out there as well. And I will have a table and be speaking on a panel at the Strange and Extraordinary Fest on November 2nd. Plenty of chances to see me and also, of course, other amazing creators. You can learn more about these events by visiting my Linktree. That's linktr.ee/susto. And that is on all of my social media bios if you want to find an easy way to link if you're already following me there, which is at Susto Podcast on every platform. If you're not following me there, what are we even doing? Anyway, as always, I am accepting bookings and invitations all year round, but especially during the spooky season, during the fall season. So these don't have to be the only events, y'all. If you know someone who is an organizer, if you are an event organizer, please reach out to me, put me in contact with organizers. You can do so by sending me a DM on social media, send me an email to sustopodcast@gmail.com, or head on over to my website, sustopodcast.com, and that has a little contact button that you can just hit that and send me a message. Speaking of sending me messages, one of the easiest ways to support the show, as you know, is by leaving a positive rating or review wherever you are listening, or by interacting with the show on Spotify, especially because Spotify has a really interesting commenting feature for the episodes. So you can leave comments like this one that was on the Casa de los Tubos episode, and that will, of course, be linked in the episode description below. Listen, I'm sorry, I would read your name to you who left this comment, but your username, it's a bunch of letters and numbers, which I know that's usually how words are made up, right? But it looks like it was like a generated kind of thing. So it's not like a word I can read, if that makes sense. But either way, thank you for leaving your comment. And this person said, I live near La Casa de los Tubos. Interesting. And if you don't remember this story, it's about this house that was being built in Mexico that just kept having these strange paranormal incidents after a young girl died on the property. And so it's allegedly haunted and it's allegedly dangerous. They did finish construction on this, spoiler alert, and it's like a beautiful mansion now. But the story of how this place came to be is very interesting. So if you haven't heard that episode, please make sure to go listen. Sorry, they continue. I live near La Casa de los Tubos. I heard that Agua y Drenaje, which is Monterrey's water and sewage services, went to fix some of the water pipes and were hearing knocks on the windows, like someone was throwing rocks at it. A neighbor said the little girl doesn't like people bothering her at 3 a.m. That is spooky. I wonder if anybody is actually living there, because like I said, they finished construction, they finished the renovation on this place, and it's like this gorgeous mansion now. So I wonder if anybody lives there. Is it like an Airbnb situation? Because I would go spend the night in there. I really would. just to take you all with me and maybe get some video about that. That'd be interesting. Hello. I mean, networks out there, I'm available. Book me up. Let's go make it happen. But anyway, thank you so much for leaving that comment. That is so cool that you live near there. If you happen to swing by at some point and you get pictures of it, please send them to me. Whoever you were that left this comment, I would love to hear more about what it's like to live near this place. Anyway, again, thank you for leaving that comment. And before we get into the episode, as always, if you'd like your story to be featured on a Letters from the Beyond episode, you can visit my website, again, sustopodcast.com, or go to my Linktree, linktr.ee/susto, and the Submit a Story, Tell Me a Story button is on those pages. We're going to go ahead with that, get into today's episode, which, once more, is featuring stories from the lovely attendees, my new ghoul friends, from Austin Public Library's Hallo-Weird event. All right, folks, so we have Savannah Quiros here, and Savannah has a story to share with us. Savannah, please take it away.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have a satisfying ending. Okay. I still don't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. But basically, when I was about 11 years old, I started getting these horrible migraines. They would absolutely take me out for the day. I'm talking, I'd see like the aura that people with migraines get. And I would know immediately, like, okay, I'm in for 8 to 12 hours of pain and just nothing else. Often I would vomit and kind of just stay as still as possible until I either passed out from the pain or from exhaustion.
Oh my God.
And coupled with this, I started seeing these shadow people. Now, were they connected? I don't know. And my parents took me to the hospital. I had MRIs. No one could figure out what was happening to me. And I was also kind of struggling with depression at the time. So they think maybe it was like stress or anxiety based, seeing the shadow people. Mm-hmm. Because my therapist just kind of dismissed it as like, oh, sad 12-year-old. But I would see shadow people and have these debilitating migraines up until I was maybe 17 or 18, and then they just kind of stopped.
Okay, wow.
I haven't had a migraine since, and I haven't really seen the shadow people since. A couple of years ago, I'm an artist, so sometimes I like to, draw. So this was the piece that I created, one of my first digital pieces. That was about 2019 to 2020, so about 3 to 4 years after everything stopped. And if you swipe, I have zoomed in portions as well.
Oh my God, this is so cool. And this is kind of like what they looked like to you?
Yeah, they were always at a distance and kind of reaching out to me. They didn't necessarily scare me, but they did make me upset, mostly because I didn't know what they were. I think they were just maybe lonely. Maybe it was a manifestation of my loneliness.
Yeah, there's definitely... is it okay if we post a picture of this?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So if you're listening, you can go to the social media post about this episode, and this picture will be on there. So this is kind of like hunched over shadow person, but I've definitely heard that in the past, that sometimes when people are experiencing some sort of mental health, let's say struggle, whether it is anxiety, depression, that they can see or it manifests by way of these shadow people. And it's usually in the periphery, right?
Right.
But it's like how much, to me, I always take it to a place of, okay, I believe in the science and I encourage the science, right? Always multiple opinions. However, I also think, what if when you are in a state of anxiety or depression, they're manifesting because you're in a more, let's say, vulnerable state.
Right.
Right? Like with sleep paralysis, they say something similar. There was this Swedish study done that people who were experiencing sleep paralysis, they were under tremendous amounts of stress and anxiety, and that can induce it. But again, my sort of personal belief is that, and it leaves you vulnerable to those kinds of like spiritual encounters.
Right.
I like how we said that at the same time.
I had a kind of kooky therapist, so I was also having like nightmares. This therapist wasn't good at all, but she had an interesting take on the nightmares. They were nightmares of sexual assault, and she was like, "Oh, a ghost of a little girl who was sexually assaulted is trying to communicate with you." And I was like, no, I think it's the sexual assault I went through.
Yeah.
And she was like, just sleep with some quartz under your pillow.
Oh, no.
And you'll be good. So after I told my parents that, I got a different therapist.
Yeah, okay,
so
probably a good move.
It's a spectrum of, I definitely believe in, spirits. I don't know if I believe in that specific kind of manifestation of them, of just like, oh yeah, just put some quartz under your pillow and you'll be good. I feel like it's a lot more personal than that.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that way too. I think it has to be like a holistic approach. It can't just be all one thing or all the other. So it can't just be like, oh no, it's purely spiritual. It's like, well, no, there is some real like trauma that has happened that should be addressed, and there could be spiritual aspects to it, but I'm very happy that you switched therapists.
Yes.
Because that, oh my goodness, hopefully
she was
someone that
so funny.
Yeah, very interesting. I had a therapist one time tell me that I probably looked really cool holding a cigarette, which I do, even though I try not to smoke, and that I should do just a little bit of steroids. So shop for your therapists, I think, is the overarching message.
The same therapist told me that I reminded her of the basket case from the Breakfast Club. And I was 14 at the time, never seen the Breakfast Club. So obviously I was like, oh my gosh, I have to, obviously it's got to be this like really cool person. No, she was like drawing in her dandruff. And I was like, I'm kind of offended.
You're like, she just read me. And for what? Oh my God.
For no reason.
That's terrible.
Just because I had my hair in my face.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
sad.
Right. Sad and wore black. Basket case. Jesus.
That's all it was.
All right. Well, Savannah, thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. Woo.
Okay, folks, we have Kayla here with us, who also has a story to share. Kayla, please take it away.
Yeah, so this was very long time ago. I'm not going to age myself here, but it definitely was in middle school. I can tell you that. We had just moved to Winchester, Kentucky. Have lived in Florida my entire life up until that point. And very new experience, lived in the mountains, saw snow for the first time.
Ooh.
My sister and I all ended up going to a 200-year-old log cabin, like hand-built. They even had an extension added to it to try to expand the log cabin. And that was actually our first experience that we could quantify for paranormal.
Yeah.
It was really interesting, too, because we were there for almost a year. We went most of that time not telling each person like what was going on. We were all just kind of thinking we were going crazy the entire time.
So it was something happening to each of you individually in the same cabin.
Yes.
But you all didn't know it was happening to each other.
Yeah, and they were all different experiences for the most part. So I remember my mom telling me I was the one who broke the silence first. And she goes, oh, thank God. I thought I was losing it here.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it ended up opening up a whole new world for us. And so to give a few of the instances that I had, nothing terrible, just a lot of happenstance. I lived in the newer part of the house, so I didn't have as many of the experiences. But I did have to go upstairs, and when you hit the top of the stairs, you have the older part of the house and you have the newer part, and I would always go straight to my room. I didn't want anything to do with the top part of this house. When I did go up there was one room that was a computer room. I'd go up there after school, teenager, hanging out on the internet. And there were two particular parts. There's one, so it's an old log cabin. Floors are not even. I tripped over the floorboards all the time.
Yeah.
Our computer chair, though, never seemed to have an issue. Several times I'd come home and I'd hear it just moving around in that room, and I'd come up and it'd be not near the computer desk anymore, and I'm the first person home. Nobody's home during the day.
Oh my gosh.
There was also a bird. As soon as I would come home, a red cardinal would show up, and he would tap, tap, tap the window, and he'd follow me to every room I would go into. And he was there from the moment I came home to the moment the sun set.
Wow.
And he would repeat it day after day, and he would every single time. He'd just follow me into a room. I was not the only person who experienced that with the red cardinal.
Yeah.
My mom also had that experience, and so did my sister. My sister told me several times that she would see a full body apparition, man in a top hat with one of those big handlebar mustaches in the same spot near the staircase. So that was always very interesting that she could see that. I never saw that.
Yeah. The cardinal, though, can I ask?
Yeah.
At the time, did you all have anybody like close to you that had passed away? Because they say that cardinals, it's usually someone visiting.
Yes.
That's a sign of someone visiting, right?
So we could associate that with my grandmother. Red cardinals, besides hummingbirds, red cardinals were some of her favorite birds.
Oh, okay.
And so we could associate that. We also learned at the time, though, that there was a superstition that they can detect spirits. I don't remember the full superstition.
Yeah.
And so the other part that was interesting was after cleansing the house several times, the bird did eventually just stop coming.
Oh, okay.
So we're not 100% sure if we want to associate it with my grandmother, or if it was just, it was seeing that something was going on in the house and just was trying to warn us.
Yeah.
So on to my mom, who had several experiences herself. Her bedroom was on the first floor, and my sister's bedroom was on the floor above her. My sister got so freaked out of her room. She didn't want to stay up there anymore. She always ended up sleeping in my parents' room at the time.
Yeah.
My mom would tell me almost every night she'd hear my sister's toys go off, make noises, move around, and again, it happened all through the night. But again, when we're home, we don't hear anything. So only when she was trying to go to sleep in that room.
Wow.
She did have one pretty scary experience in that bedroom as well. She said she woke up and she had seen a very terrifying face just like floating in the corner, and she couldn't move. And I believe she had even told me at one point it felt like it was coming towards her, and she had to fight it and try to get up. I want to say that only happened one time, though, so I can't remember the timing, because we did eventually have an investigation team led by a priest, come in and investigate with us. And he had decided during the tour, when he was talking to my mom, to record everything on a audio recorder.
Yeah.
My mom, being the funny person that she is, when he had asked, like, well, if we do think there's anything in this house, what would you like us to do? And she goes, well, they ain't paying rent.
Yeah.
I don't want them in here with me.
I'm not splitting the bills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she had said that, and apparently right afterwards, which obviously did not happen while they were doing the tour, there was a man's voice going, "This is my house, bitch." And Mom was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
I just got chills. That's wild.
I actually just chilled myself right there.
Oh my gosh.
It's been so long since we've talked about this experience.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Okay, never mind. He doesn't have to pay rent. It's fine."
Right.
Well, I'll leave you alone. I think there was one other recording where they had heard somebody screaming at some point as well.
Oh my.
Basically, again, nothing really bad happened. Just some things that would definitely creep most people out. The priest had come in. He blessed the home. He gave us lots of tools, and there were several times we blessed the home. Fully knowing, after learning about exactly what is going on in the house, you can't really get rid of them. They're human spirits. They kind of choose when they want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we just continuously blessed the house as often as we could. And I remember coming home one day. It's really interesting. The house felt much warmer all of a sudden, and I even could smell roses. And we don't wear those types of perfumes in the house.
Yeah.
I think when I told Mom that, she had actually said that's usually a sign. That's a sign that everything's okay right now.
Yeah.
So it was definitely very interesting. It was our first time experiencing anything like that.
Wow.
And that ended up opening up this whole new world where my mom ended up becoming a ghost investigator.
Really?
Yeah, so she joined a group and just started investigating. She did eventually have to put that away just because her job started getting too demanding. But when that all kind of happened, it ended up opening up a lot of stories about my grandmother specifically, her sisters, and my mom, and all these experiences that she's just like, never really wanted to think about them until this happened.
Oh my God. But there's such like a well of stories.
There were so many stories I ended up finding out about. So,
What's your mom's name? Do you want to give her a shout out?
Sure, it's Christy. I'm gonna have to like tell her about the podcast and let her listen to it. I'm still trying to get her into podcasts. So
Got it.
it's a slow start. So this might be a fun one to get her into.
Yeah, maybe this would be a good one. And it features her a bit. That's so cool. I wanted to go back to the cardinal story because I just like had a thought of, I think it was interesting how you mentioned that it would follow you around the house, right? Where allegedly these kinds of like spooky things were happening to all of you all. And the cardinal seems like the one thing that all of you experienced, which is interesting because, let's say just for theory's sake, that it was your grandmother or sent from your grandmother. It's almost like if she was watching over you all in this space that may not have been spiritually the safest, but then when it was blessed or cleansed, the cardinal would go away. Like, okay, I don't need to watch over right now.
Yeah, definitely. It was really interesting. I didn't even notice that. I had gotten so used to the cardinal tapping on the window that I didn't notice when it wasn't doing it. And at one point, Mom goes, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" She goes, "There's no bird." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't think I've heard him in like a week. You're right."
Wow.
And so it's just definitely a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
And it was also just interesting how willing we were all just to stay quiet, no matter how crazy we all felt that we were going while living there. And then finally just decided to go, you know what? Nah, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I wish I still had some of the pictures we've taken, because once Mom started exploring that world, she would snap pictures and we would get orbs. And I'm not talking dust. You can totally see the dust in the pictures.
Yeah, you can tell.
But these orbs were bright blue and yellow and just it looked like electricity almost in these things. And so it was always just such an interesting scene to see whenever we would take those pictures. So definitely ended up really kind of loving the experience in the end, because it ended up giving us a new avenue to look towards. We can sit there and think that my grandmother was trying to make sure to warn us and keep us safe. And it's such a heartwarming thing to think of.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Kayla, thank you so much for sharing today. I really enjoyed it. That was really, really cool. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for letting me tell my story.
Yeah, of course. All right, we are back with Nori, who has a story to share with us. Can you please let us know what your story is, Nori?
Sure. Well, I'm from South America, from Ecuador. And one night, I was in my bed and I felt that someone was touching me from my toes to my head. So I couldn't move that night. And I was like, what's going on? And the thing is that happened 3 times. So I have my husband in my left side, and I couldn't even move my body. My body was paralyzed.
Oh.
So and I have my son in the right side. So every time this thing was touching my body and go to touch my head, my son was crying. And then I was looking like from the side of my eye to my son like that, because I couldn't even move my face, my body, anything. I was paralyzed. And he was sleeping. And then I was trying to yell to my husband to tell him to help me, because I was paralyzed and I was so in shock. And I don't remember exactly how I did for him to wake up. And when he woke up, he was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" I said, "What?" He said, "Someone touched me." So I am telling this because I feel it. It's true. My body feel it. And then he felt, and at the time that he woke up and he felt, we hear like a pressure, olla de presión, like doing like shh, and it was like 2:00 in the morning. And he said, "What is that? Are you cooking?" I said, "How am I going to cook? I'm here paralyzed. I cannot do it." So that happened to us in our apartment. It was so scary.
Yeah. I think it's scarier when you're experiencing something, and then before you even say anything, the person next to you tells you, "Did you hear that? Did you see that? Did you feel that?" Because it just confirms what's happening to you.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
But on top of that, is not only is the confusion that you have in that moment, because you are like, "Am I feeling this? Or am I asleep, or am I awake?"
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that while this happening. I'm like, I can see. There's nobody here. And now I'm feeling it. So, and then I feel it twice. Two times more. It was like, no, something's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. There was no one there, I know. But the funny thing is that he felt.
Yeah.
And we are so paralyzed, both of us. We were so in fear. And usually I'm not like that. I'm more strong. I'm like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But that night, it was bad. It
That's
was
terrifying.
Yeah.
And did it ever happen? You said it happened 3 times?
No, that moment.
Oh, in that same night.
In that same night,
Oh my
happened,
gosh.
touched me 3 times.
Wow. But it didn't happen any other night after that?
No. And then this is something that happened in that house too. Months later, my son was showing me his hands together, and he said, "Look at this is my friend." And he was like maybe 2-3 years old. And I was like, okay, if he says so, why not? I'm gonna say okay.
Yeah, it's
So I
his
was like,
imaginary friend or something.
and I said, "Oh, wow, he is so beautiful." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, which is his name or her name? He said, "Is he," and the name is Fantasmita. And I was like, okay. And so Fantasmita was with us for several months, and I was treating Fantasmita like he was there, and if I feed my son, I serve twice for Fantasmita and my son. If we go in the car, Fantasmita was welcome. So Fantasmita went all around, and they played together, and he was there. Then later on, my son said, "Look, and this is another one." I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay." So this other one was Godzilla, because at that time Godzilla's movie was in theaters, so he liked it, so he called it Godzilla. So I have my 3 kids at home in the dinner time, playing everywhere. So, and I was following my son. If he was seeing something, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But it was nothing related one thing to the other.
Yeah.
So one day, we were walking in the street and we went to church. and we went to church. So at the time that we opened the door from the church, there was 3 angels on top of the main wall. There was 3 angels in the right side and 3 angels in the left side. So my son said, "Look, there they are, Godzilla and Fantasmita." And I was like, in shock. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So those are the 2 situations I have lived with myself and my son.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe they were like his guardian angels, and then
I think
you saw them
so.
at the church.
I wish I can know better,
Yeah.
but I respect my son with his friends, brother, sister, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. But what happened to me, believe me, that was scary.
Yeah, no, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the presentation. It was great.
Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to hear that. Thank
Sure.
You. Okay, we have Paulina with us,
Yes.
and Paulina's going to share a ghost story.
So when I moved here in 2008, we live in Del Valley.
What part of the valley are you from?
No, Del Valley, over here. Next to the airport. Sorry.
Okay. I got really excited.
No, I'm
Okay.
from California, but we
Okay.
moved over here. So at first it was nothing until me and my brother got older. I'm the oldest out of 4.
Yeah.
So me and brother, we were watching more ghost adventure. We got more into the paranormal a little bit, and surprisingly, when that whole, I don't know if you know Jake Paul, that whole situation
yeah.
happened with this. No, I'm not kidding. Logan Paul, when he did that whole Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
So that's when it started to kick off in my house. I guess I let something in or something in my house or whatever. So it started off a tall man. We don't know where he came from. We don't know where, but he was just a tall guy.
Yeah.
He really liked hanging out in our hallway.
Oh, of course.
Because we used to sleep with our doors open all the time, me and my brother. But I guess ever since then, that guy would just be hanging out in the hallway. And the only way you know he's there is when you see his head poking in the door.
Oh my God, I hate that.
So every time, my brother, when I started closing my door, when I had my own room,
Yeah.
and my brother started noticing, he's like, do you close your door? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, I see someone poking. I was like, oh yeah, it's that tall guy. Because I first saw him in my brother's room. So I was like,
no. And you didn't warn him?
no, because I thought it was something, because I saw that video, that YouTube video, so I was like, oh, it's just like my imagination or whatever. So I was like, whatever.
How old were you around this time?
I think I was 10, 11. I don't remember. When did that video come out? I don't remember.
Oof, probably long time ago.
Yeah,
Okay, but you were young.
Yeah, I was around
Yeah.
that age. Wherever that year that video came out, that's the year I was in.
Wow.
So it started with that. And then after, he will hang out in I don't know why he liked that laundry room door, because it was a hallway. The first door you see was on the left was the restroom. The other side was the laundry room. And then the other two, on each side is a bedroom.
Yeah.
So he liked hanging out in that laundry room just right there. And then when I switched to, then after that one, there was a little girl afterwards. And I don't know where she come from either.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God.
The only way when she manifested, it was my sister. My sister was born. She was born in 2010, so it was like a little bit later, like when she was like 5, 6, around that age. And we would sleep in the same room together. And there's one time I was already in my bed. My door was open. My mom was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, Michelle. No, my sister's name is Michelle. So I saw a silhouette on the door. I was like, Michelle, come sleep, Michelle. Oh my God. And I kept calling her, and she wouldn't come in. I was like, and Mom was like, who are you calling? I was like, Michelle. She's like, Michelle's in our room, in the other side of the house. And I got up and I walked through. Like I was like, you know what? I just walked through and just looked at my mom in the kitchen. I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah.
You're like, please say psych. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I don't know where she got manifested at either. I just know she was. That was the first time I saw her.
Yeah.
She was just in the door I thought it was my sister because they were the same height.
Yeah.
And
she was like a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God.
I don't know what had the guts for me to get up from my bed and just walk through the door where the little girl was.
You're like, I'm just gonna pass by, pretend it's not there.
Yeah. And after that, they just hang out. My mom wasn't. Then later on, I found out my mom knew about them too. She found out about them as well.
Yeah.
But she didn't say anything. And I don't know. We moved houses, and I'm surprised they even followed us over there either. And it's like 2 streets down from where.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
And so they stayed in that house. They didn't.
I guess so, because there was one time my cousin from California came, and the tall ghost, he was gone for a good while. We didn't know where he was at.
Oh, wow.
Until my cousin texted me. She's like, "Hey, something's going on in our house." I was like, no way, this ghost went
He
to
took
go.
a trip, a
He took a trip,
vacation.
yes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, bro, watch me the ghost. And I went to, like 2 weeks later, I went over there to California for something. And I came back, and that's when that activity started happening again.
Oh my God.
I was like, this ghost took a trip.
I know. A free trip. Didn't even pay for it. Oh my God.
And I would tell my mom, and then when those Snapchat filters came in, when you take a picture and like, that AI stuff.
Yeah.
So we tested it out. And my sister got a little bit older. She's already like 10, 11. And then she took a picture and she got scared because the tall guy was in that same spot on the laundry door.
No.
Yeah.
In the picture, you could see him?
Yeah, like the AI stuff, you can see that like there's a guy being there, but there's no guy.
Do you still have the picture?
My sister, I don't know if she has it still. I know.
Okay, if you find it, please send it to me on
I'll ask her
Instagram.
about it if she
Okay,
has
please.
it still. And I had to see if I have it still as well. I did the same thing for the girl. Not for the AI, but the little girl came up in the couch. And I was like, oh, it's the pillow, because Mama had pillows.
Yeah.
And I took out the pillow because it looked like, the first picture I took, it looked like she was like laying, a little girl laying down on the couch.
Oh, okay.
On their side. And I'm like, oh, it's the pillows. I took
Yeah.
it out. And I took a picture again, and it's like I woke it up or something. Like I woke it up because now the little girl's sitting up.
Oh my God! I
So
would have
this-
ran out so fast. Oh my God!
And I was home alone, and it was daytime too. I was home alone. I was like, damn. I was like, well, I guess
Rise
we're-
and shine, girl.
I know. I was like, I guess
Oh
we're
my
friends.
God.
I was watching a show. Like, I guess we're watching the show together.
Oh my God! You want snacks? Oh my gosh, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, but there was less activity when my mom started praying at 3 p.m. She had an alarm. 3 p.m. pray every single day. So they didn't do much. They were just chilling there. I guess the praying made them like not do much, just appear
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah. She chilled him out.
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh. Well, thank you, Paulina, so
No
much for sharing your
problem.
stories. Those were
No
great.
problem. I got more, but
Do you want to share one more?
let me see. Which one's my mom? Supposedly when we first moved to the house, there was no shed. There was no shed in the backyard until my dad started making a shed. And then that's where we had our cat. Whatever when I used to feed my cat, it was in that same shed. So I would go in the shed at night or whatever. And like 5-10 years later, my mom was like, "Oh, you didn't know there was a lechuza living there?" I was like, "No way." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, I used to hear it all the time. She will fly in, chill in the shed, and fly out. I'm like, Mom, I used to feed my cat food was there. What you mean?
I know.
And I would do it at night. Sometimes I will.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, you didn't tell me there was like a lechuza.
I know. Thanks for the heads up.
For
My
real.
God.
And she said she was there for a good while until I think my sister was born. No, Michelle. When
Yeah.
she was born, I think she was there for a while and then she left and she never came back.
Wow. Wow. My God. Not the lechuza. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and there's some like Llorona stories I have. My mom has.
Oh
my cousin's girlfriend has a Llorona story as well. Yeah.
Of course, we all have one. Right? We all heard her. She's
Yes,
everywhere. I
yes.
always tell people she's like the Beyonce of ghosts. You
No,
know,
for real.
everybody knows her. She's
I went
been
to
everywhere.
Mexico recently, and my tia said that she heard her. She said it was like the most horrible scream ever. She ever
The
heard.
Mexico ones are intense.
Yes.
So whenever there's like videos about it down there,
That same girl, my cousin's girlfriend, she has videos of it. Yes.
you have to send this to me if you can get a hold of them.
I have to text her. I have her on Instagram. I'll text her.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get all this footage.
Yes.
Because we have a bunch of them.
Okay, if Paulina's able to get them, y'all can find them on the social media post for this
Yes.
episode.
I have to get my connections. I have to text my sister.
Yes.
I have to look through my Snapchat. My cousin.
Please. Oh my God. Well, thank you again so
Yeah, no
much. I appreciate
problem.
that. Those were good. Welcome back, Ghoul friends. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. And once more, thank you so much to my new Ghoul friends for sharing their scary stories with us. Those were also great. And as you may have heard me say during their episodes, if they were able to send me those pictures or videos or what they have, that will be in the social post for this episode. So you can go, again, follow at Susto Podcast on every social media platform. And those pictures, those video clips, if we're able to get them in by the time this episode publishes, they will be on social media. So you can check out those really cool drawings and those spooky pictures and videos that they were talking about. With that being said, thank you once more for being here. Follow along social media, share this episode, and share Susto with your coven of ghoul friends. I truly appreciate you all. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show, one last time, is by leaving a positive rating or review. Reviews like this one from, this is an interesting username here. It's a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And this says that it's from someone named la 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 la. Anyway, thank you for leaving this review. They said, I absolutamente love this podcast. Thank you so much. I love it too. They say, I came across this podcast because I was searching for Santa Muerte's stories. As a devotee, I wanted to see how many people actually talk good about her, which Aiden did a great job. And after that, I've been hooked. Oh my God, thank you so much. I try and handle these sorts of things with care and to be respectful, because not all things that are made to be scary are actually scary. And this was one of those things. La continues. Even better, he's from Texas. I sure am. And I wanted to support a local ghoul bay. That's me. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for everything you do. Would love to have you on my own podcast too. Well, send me a DM, send me an email. Let's work this out. I love talking to other people about this stuff. Listen, so much of this episode is me just yapping to myself. So any chance I get to speak with other people, I'm there right away. I love it. So with that being said, thank you all so much for joining me for today's episode. As always, Patreon subscribers get early and ad-free access to these episodes. Now, we didn't film video for this episode, and that was like a learning thing for me. I thought maybe next time I can record video of these stories as well. We didn't have a video for this one, but Patreon subscribers, again, still get early and ad-free access to these episodes. And this episode's patron saints, thank you so much, are Liza, Rachel, Alejandra, Luther, April, D, Josette, Sam, Mandy, Lori, Jeannie, Desiree C, Ashes, Neressa, Rachel A, Azucena, Marlene, Lainey, Desiree A, Carla, Ricardo, Vanessa, Maritza, Nieves, Manormal, Iris, Mar, Flor, Selena, Nightingale, Clint, Rachel W, and Armani. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I will talk to you in the next episode, and until then, no te asustes. Bye.